Welcome, everybody, in the Movie Guys verse. This is Jordan here, part of Movie Guys Podcast. We wanted to say thank you so much for downloading this most recent episode. If you don't know what Movie Guys Podcast is, we are a new movie review show that is updated weekly. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.com and also movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And tonight we're talking about Bohemian Rhapsody. And I'm Jordan, and I'm joined here, like always, with Eric and Ed. And tonight I am the champion. There's no time for losers. Eric, how are you doing?
Just hanging out listening to that Radio Gaga, I guess.
Ooh! The Radio Gaga.
Everyone in the theater did the hand thing when that part came on. And it felt like it was, a nice little moment that everyone in the theater was doing that shit. But, I just thought I'd share that, Ed. How about you?
Well, what I have to say is guaranteed to blow your mind.
There you go.
Hey! We all got one.
Yeah, we all got one.
I feel like, sometimes we might try too hard, but that one came a little natural.
Don't stop me now, because I'm having a good time.
Wonderful. There we keeps on going.
Yep.
Let's fuck the show. We'll just do this all night. I think we'll love it. But
what, this thing?
Yeah, this thing. But
just keep making Queen puns.
I'll go right into it with my theory.
Get on your bikes and ride.
My wife and I went to go see this together on a date night on a Friday night. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the theater experience was different for us. We are both 31 years old, and we were the youngest people
Not
there.
bragging.
No, yeah. We were the youngest people there by 30 years. I mean, it was all 50s, 60s.
That's what I wanted to say. That's what my thing was, that in the theater, everyone was doing the hand thing, and then I kind of had like this, the seats were limited because I was surprised at how sold out it was, but I saw it on a Monday night, and it was actually sold out, except for the cuddle seats, which are now a thing. So I got to try out a cuddle seat. That was a first. That was fucking weird in a movie theater. Anyway, chilling in the cuddle seat, that scene comes on. Everyone's giving that Radio Goo-Goo and the Radio Gaga. It's hard to say without singing it. And yeah, everyone's clapping. And I look, everyone's doing it, and that's when I realized that I was also probably the youngest one in the theater. I was like, I don't think I've earned the right to do this.
I've earned the right. Ed, how about you, man? Were you the youngest in the theater as well?
You could say that. I mean, from a certain point of view, I guess.
I was amazed.
No, I mean, you got to realize that Queen, although is a fantastic, very well-known band, most people younger than us really only know a couple of the hits. They don't really know a lot of the other things. Like, one of my absolute favorite Queen songs is because of the movie Highlander, Princes of the Universe, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody thinks of that, and I think of Queen every time I watch Highlander. Flash Gordon.
There you go.
Right? So there you go. So it's just people
very
younger
diverse in their in their album, in their catalog. It's
yes.
They brush on a little bit in the movie how they want to be, very Kanye, I guess. They want to be different every album.
Yes.
I apologize for that, everybody. I realize it sounded better in my head to try to appeal to a younger audience. And moving on. Let's move on quick. No, don't think about it. Move on.
Another one to dust.
There we go.
There you go.
Every time I think of Queen, I think of my dad. And the reason why I do this, and I'm going to make this as short as I possibly can, but Queen and my dad, it holds a very, very special place in my heart. My dad and my mom divorced when I was born. Then I only saw my dad on the weekends, and my dad always took me to movies every Sunday because he didn't know what else to do with me. So I remember one time very vividly. I remember this forever. And this is when I got introduced to Queen. We saw a movie, and it was John Carpenter's Vampires.
All
If you
right.
guys know that. And we're driving back home, and Dad turns on the radio, and Bohemian Rhapsody starts. And I never heard of that. I've never heard of Bohemian Rhapsody at the time. And it just starts.
The operatic, is this the
Yeah.
real life? Okay.
And
Sorry,
as
my
soon as,
tone deaf,
so,
everybody. Yes, thank you.
yeah. And Dad plays it. And I remember this as it's yesterday. And he goes nuts in the car. He's like, oh my God, this is Bohemian Rhapsody. He freaks out, and he's singing with it and going nuts. And he's like, listen to it. It's about a guy who killed a guy, and he's just upset, and he's just saying his goodbyes before oh, this is brilliant, you know. And I remembered at that young, impressionable age how important this was to my dad. So, flash forward to my wedding day. You heard that right.
Okay.
My friends
jump.
and my friends and I know how much Bohemian Rhapsody is to my dad and I. So, you know, it's the last hour of the ceremony of my wedding, and we go to the DJ and say, play Bohemian Rhapsody. And the DJ says, what? At a wedding? And I looked at the DJ and I said, I'm paying you? You're playing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Get at it, bud.
So, is this the real life starts? My buddies and my dad comes in and we form a circle. And my dad is singing opera style, drunk. And everybody's watching us. And we have this on videotape. And us just in a circle, just going nuts, dancing, headbanging. Anyway.
This is all on video now?
It is. My mom has it somewhere. But
Okay.
anyway.
So you will be posting it to the Twitter?
Yeah.
I did, if I could convert it. But anyway, so I feel like I've rambled on, but good. But yes, this is important to me. This movie was important to me because of just that moment as a young boy in the car with my dad, and watching him react to this song.
That's the
was
ticket.
important.
That's what is going to buy you into this movie, is because everyone seems to have a very close connection one way or another with this band. Like, and as I said before, their music has such range and has such ability to kind of break any barrier for language or for anything else like that too, because it's worldwide popular. You know, it's just that's how powerful it is, and that's why I think this movie is going to do so well, and why the expectations were so high with it too. Did you guys? Now we had talked a little bit before, right? That originally, instead of it being Rami Malek that was casted as Freddie Mercury, that it was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yes,
He was approached, and he had said on Howard Stern that a big reason why that happened was just basically creative differences. That the original idea, I guess I could say original idea for the movie, was to be about the band and to continue on, and then have Freddie die halfway through the movie, and then the rest of the movie is the band carries on, I guess, with their here it is again. And you know, with their shit, and Sacha Baron Cohen was just like, well, why would anyone want to watch a movie where the main character dies halfway through the movie? He's like, I don't want to do it, and so it also forced him to rewrite the script a bit more too, to which is what we have now, which is, I'm going to say, a lot better than what it was. But this movie was not Freddie Mercury's movie. This definitely was Queen's movie.
Well, I don't know that I 100% agree with that. Obviously, I mean, Queen or Freddie Mercury was Queen, and Queen was Freddie Mercury, you know. But I mean, the movie really, it really focused on Freddie. I think in my personal.
Well, they went Hollywood with this, and you need a front man to go through the journey. In order for you to you know, make it a bigger, and obviously it's just going to be so well with Freddie.
Well, yeah, and and here's the thing: like a movie like this, I mean, like I said, I loved Queen's music. I do love Queen's music, but I have no knowledge of any of the backstory of Queen whatsoever. I know that they had a great performance at Live Aid, and Freddie Mercury died of AIDS, and he was gay. Then Brian May made his own guitars. That's what I know. That's all I know about their backstory. So I'm taking this film to be fact with a little bit of what was it, like writers, creative, a little added creative.
I get you. I did a little bit of due diligence here, boys, and I've looked and I compared to see browse the reaches of the internet to see which ones were what was real, what they got right, and what they got wrong. And just a few things that really made no difference, or made a big difference. I guess that should have been. One was that that whole thing about Freddie Mercury wanted to go solo, and the whole drama behind that. That really was just kind of stretched out to be some, more for the movie type thing. Because fact is that all the band members were down to take breaks or really just do solo projects, and none of them were really about like ever splitting forever. They just wanted, to do their own thing for a little bit, and that's what they did. In fact, I think the drummer actually was the first one to have his first solo album.
Really?
Come out, yeah. And obviously they, it didn't stop them. They always got back together and, did more creative things. That's just how it happened.
Sure.
Freddie had AIDS after Live Aid.
That's when he found out.
Is that what it was? The Wikipedia says, or in the short clips from that book said that Live Aid was 85 and he found out 87.
Yeah, he found out that he had AIDS in 87, but he had AIDS.
Yeah, the movie hints that he knew kind of sort of for years because he's coughing up blood.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
The movie kind of hints at that.
Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, I guess a few things that needed to be said. Oh, and that the band in the beginning that the lead singer for Smile, that he and Freddie actually were friends from college, and Freddie actually knew the band, and so when the lead singer actually bowed out, it was just kind of perfect because Freddie could just jump in because he kind of knew the routine and songs already.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, yeah, and
he was friends with the band.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this movie sort of makes you think that up before Live Aid, they hadn't played together for years. When, in 84 they released an album, in 82 they released an album, and in 80 they released an album. So, there's a lot of creative liberties that are taken with this movie to imply things that may not necessarily be fact. I'm not saying that they're lying to us. I'm just saying that it's skipping over certain facts to make a creative point, I guess.
No, I get you. And here's the thing: is that I'm not trying to bust the movie's ball because I liked this movie a lot. I really did. I enjoyed a lot of it. It's your typical bio picture, kind of like nothing short of Ray or Walk the Line, Although Walk the Line is very good too.
The best example I can give in a very similar film is the Doors movie. It was based on a book called No One Here Gets Out Alive, right? And in the movie, Oliver Stone says that Jim Morrison burned a fucking house down. That never happened. That. Yeah. There's a lot of contradictory evidence to say a lot of the things that happened in the Doors movie never happened in real life. But equal to this movie, the lead singer and the actor, you could not tell the difference for the life of you. What's the guy's name? Remy something or other?
Rami Malek, yeah.
Yeah. Gave a fantastic performance in this movie.
Very good. Yeah, I liked his. He's very convincing in this movie.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't know what Freddie Mercury was like in real life. I've never seen a single documentary. I've never watched a book or read a book about Queen. I've watched an interview with him. I have no idea how he sounded and looked like and spoke. But I feel like I know now.
You're not going to see a lot of interviews of him. The only way that you can see an interview of Freddie Mercury is if you go to YouTube. There's only a little bit. Freddie Mercury didn't do interviews. Queen didn't do interviews. They did not like to do interviews. But him saying "darling" all the time was definitely Freddie Mercury. He would say that constantly.
So he was very Queen, you would say.
Well, this, like you said, there's only room in this band for one hysterical queen.
Yeah.
So one of the things I got to talk about is Mike Myers. God bless him. He plays a radio executive. Now, in real life, the character that Mike Myers plays is not a real person. That is a collection of record executives.
There you go.
Into one person, okay, Ed?
Okay.
And I love how he says a line in the movie that nobody, not ever, not know how, will ever headbang to Queen in their car ever. And then he does it in Wayne's World in 92.
Yeah.
I found that hilarious. Freddie Mercury's banter was great, too, where he says, I feel sorry for your wife if you feel 6 minutes is too long.
Nice and clever, yeah. And Miami Beach, I like that. Named his lawyer Miami.
I will say this. I want to make this very clear so people who are listening here in the Movie Guys first understand my point. Personally, not Eric's opinion, not Ed's opinion, just me personally. I do not consider myself homophobic. I don't have an issue at all with homosexuality whatsoever. What I'm happy with is that this movie did not beat us over the head with it. They did not go a la I Love You, Philip Morris with it. I went into this movie expecting somewhere in the movie to be very flamboyant, very gay, very look at me, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. And it didn't do it. And I liked it because I like that the creators of the movie decided to tell a story about Queen and not just about Freddie Mercury's personal issues. You guys understand what I'm trying to say here on this?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like this is a testament to his acting, to Rami's acting, where you could tell that he was very much ashamed of who he was, or at least that part of him for however long of his life, and it really was convincing. He really showed through his acting that every time it was brought up, he was uncomfortable with it. He dodged it. He tried to move into something else, and he was troubled and confused by it, but also intrigued and kind of curious about it. Like it was, yeah, exactly. They made it so it wasn't a moment that was its own character in the movie. You know what I mean? Where it was distracting enough, but it made it to where it was just a part of his lifestyle, and after a while, it was his life of hedonism that got away with him, and that's what the thing was trying to highlight. That's what its purpose was.
Do you think, Eric, that he slept with that trucker at the truck stop?
I mean, wouldn't you?
I mean, I would, because he reminded me of Seabass from Dumb and Dumber.
It would look like a buff Rory Cochrane,
Yeah, it's like, kick his ass, Seabass,
Dude had a Fu Manchu.
But instead he licked his ass, Seabass.
Yeah, no, I was just curious because my wife and I were talking about that afterwards. It was like, because he says to his fiance, actually his wife, right, or his fiance at the time, he says, I think I'm bisexual. But the scene prior that I'm talking about is when he, was at a truck stop, he's touring, he sees this trucker, and the trucker gives him looks, and he looks at him, but then he kind of, I think he walks away. I was just curious if you guys took it as he...
Yeah, assume that he's on the road and he's calling home. You can assume that he's, experimenting. I'm trying to find the words.
So, talk about experimenting. Let's talk about the manager wannabe. What's his name? Paul?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Wait, Paul, are you talking about Baelish? Is that what you're talking about?
Littlefinger. No, the mustache. The
mustache.
The first gay guy.
Oh yeah,
The blonde,
Paul
the blonde mustache.
Yeah, he played a snake in the grass, didn't he? Huh?
He was a
Mhm.
douchebag, wasn't he?
Yeah, a lot of the characters in this, again, it was very good. I'm trying to pull up what the character list right now here. Yeah, Paul Brenter, played by Alan Leach.
Now, in real life, Freddie Mercury died of AIDS in 1991 due to complications from pneumonia.
Yeah.
So he had pneumonia and died of complications with AIDS. That same month, that Paul guy died in real life as well from AIDS.
Well,
Really?
of course he did.
Wonder who got it, or who gave it to who.
Yeah. And I just find it interesting because that Paul guy is a snake in the grass. Like you're right, Eric. Like that guy is a douchebag.
Shiesty MFer, huh?
And I like how I don't know who it was. I'm trying to remember because I saw this movie on Friday and we're recording on a Wednesday. But I'm trying to remember. But I think one of the members of the band called it out to Freddie Mercury and said, "Hey, you guys look like you're twins."
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
short hair and the mustache.
Was the guy who Roger Taylor. The other part too was that like the guy who played Brian May looks spot the fuck on, man.
They all did.
Yeah,
they all
actually
did.
too. Yeah, I should say that too. The guy who played John Deacon, the bassist, he looked pretty spot on too. That hair, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, they all look great.
Now, why? Question for both of you. I understand this movie is called Bohemian Rhapsody. But why do they focus a good half an hour on the movie on recording Night of the Opera? Why don't they try to do something different? Why do they try to show us different recordings of different albums? Why do they focus a half an hour? Ed, I'll ask you first. Why do you think that they focused on Night of the Opera?
Well, it was musically speaking, it was a complete 180 from not only where they had been, but from where really music was at the time. You know, You're My Best Friend's on that album. Obviously, Bohemian Rhapsody's on that album. I'm in Love with My Car is like the most underrated fucking song of all time.
But nobody loved it.
Right, and they make fun of that song, but it's a retarded name. It's a stupid song, but it's awesome. I suggest everybody go listen to that. But it's really they focused, I think, on it because let's be honest, the name of the movie is that song, and that is their most famous. I'm not saying their best. That is their most famous song. So, and it was a switch from what everybody was doing at the time. Like in '74 when they did Sheer Heart Attack. I mean, it was a good album, but it really didn't do anything. You know what I mean? It didn't have really a whole lot. I don't think it had a single hit on it. Queen 1 and 2 were really good albums, but they didn't really have that much on them. I could be misremembering a song or two. Don't get me wrong. I probably am misremembering a couple of songs because I wasn't there. I'm just trying to go off of memory. But Night at the Opera had their most famous song, so that's why you got to focus on it.
Eric, what about you? Why do you feel that this whole movie, not this whole movie, I'm sorry, but why do you feel that a good chunk of this movie had to focus on the making of A Night at the Opera?
Oh, I mean, you just said it right there. Like you're taking the number one, and gotta highlight that. This is the introduction to how a lot of people knows the band. This is the one that again, the big interaction with the audience. This is the one that's played in every stadium worldwide. So everyone knows this song. You have to highlight this, right? This is the one that gets people in the seats. This is why you're in there anyway. This is the one that people in the movie theater are boom, boom clapping to. So, yeah, exactly. When you have a phenomenon like Bohemian Rhapsody, you don't ignore it. Oh, yeah, also the movie's named after the damn song, man, so.
Well, before we get into our popcorn ratings, I'm going to get into some of my gripes. A little bit behind the scenes here. The movie is credited as the director is Bryan Singer. However, though, we have a Poltergeist situation where it says it's directed by Tobe Hooper, but really it's directed by Steven Spielberg. Kind of the same thing here with Bohemian Rhapsody. Bryan Singer did not direct this movie. He is credited, but he did not direct it.
Really? So who did then?
An unnamed gun for hire. What happened was Bryan Singer is an openly gay filmmaker in Hollywood.
Yeah, he's the one that touches little boys, right?
He's the one
Whoa.
he is famous for his movies. That he was The Usual Suspects and X-Men 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's the one he has a bunch of sex allegations against him, right?
Yeah, well, also the guy from Jeepers Creepers 2 also has. Anyway,
I don't know that. I've not heard that one.
But anyway, so Bryan Singer, one of my gripes of the movie is that Bryan Singer, who is an openly gay filmmaker in Hollywood right now, wanted to make a different movie than the producers wanted to make. Bryan Singer wanted to make a Freddie Mercury AIDS biopic.
Okay.
And then he was on set for only a few months. Him and the main star, who plays Freddie Mercury, got into huge fights, and the studio ultimately fired Bryan Singer. But because of SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, the Directors Guild, he gets director's credit, but they hired a director, just a gun for hire, who would do what they wanted to do. The first few weeks on set, the first shoot was Live Aid.
Yep.
So my complaint is I see that with this movie. I see that some stuff of the movie wants to be a Freddie Mercury AIDS biopic pick.
Sure.
And then I see other parts of the movie that wants to be a Queen movie. The studio wanted to make a Queen movie. Bryan Singer wanted to make a Freddie Mercury movie. And I can see in a bunch of scenes in this movie where that conflict mixes.
And Brian May wanted to make a Brian May movie.
Yeah. So that is one of my gripes. The last gripe that I have, even though that it's a great performance, I've seen it on YouTube a bunch of times, there was no need to make the last 20 minutes of the movie the Live Aid performance. From a movie standpoint, there was no need. Now, I love the Live Aid performance. It is great. In real life and in the movie. It was entertaining. It was fun. It was whatever. But I did find myself in the theater going, is this going to end? Are they going to do the whole 20-minute performance? Like, why is this necessary? If you're going to highlight Live Aid, then do the two big performances from that concert and then roll credits. There's no reason to go on for 20 minutes. Ed said, whoa, so I want to hear your opinion last. But Eric, do you agree with that opinion? Or do you disagree? What do you feel?
I mean, if we're getting into reviews, I might as well just give it right now then. I feel like this movie. Yeah, was that we're doing? I'm just gonna go ahead.
Yeah, go. What's your popcorn rating for Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, works for me. Go.
Yeah, sure. Oh no, this is large popcorn for sure. Like the theater sounded amazing, and just the music with the sound system, it sounded awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, I thought it was great. And then that Live Aid scene was really dope too. I liked it. It was very immersive. It was very wide, bright. You could just really put you into the scene, and it was really a good scene. I just enjoyed it. I'm being biased because I love the band. That being said, this isn't necessarily the movie that I think I wanted. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm missing something, but it just seemed like it started very fast. It started very quick. It paced itself very quickly from like, Freddie's picking up bags here, goes to a bar, meets the band. Band is singing. Band is signed. Band is touring. Band is second album. You know, like it's just boom, 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 going boom, boom to right to the other. And I get that because this movie is Queen. It's about the band. You know, that's where I'm getting at is that it's going through the bulk of what they are, how they came together, and where they ultimately ended up. So that's where I think I needed to adjust because I think everyone wanted a more Freddie movie to this, but it worked out because you didn't get the hyper gay scenes like Jordan wanted, and you got all in all a pretty good concert for 2 hours, and it was fantastic. and again, that's a large bag of popcorn. It worked out. That Live Aid scene to build up to it which is awesome. They didn't do the full concert, by the way, right? They only did
They did 4 songs.
Yeah, they only did 4 of the however much, because he plays he play guitar in I think I was watching it the other day. I thought we had it in the background. I swore I saw him play guitar at one point.
Yeah, he did.
Anyway, but yeah, it was well acted. I liked it. It seemed, again, just kind of cheesy, real kind of a biopic. You saw it was just like all the other ones. Every musician goes through trial and tribulation, but you like it because the music is awesome and Freddie's such an awesome character. And yeah, I have a feeling though that Brian May was just not that compliant with the shit. I feel like he. Anything that was in the studio, he'd be like, no, whatever. The band was too friendly. They were just like, yeah, whatever you want. For whatever you want, Freddie, we'll do it. Like, the bands don't get along in the studio, right?
No,
right.
You're right. All right, so a large bag for Eric. Ed will be your popcorn reading for Bohemian Rhapsody.
So, I did not know that Bryan Singer got fired from this movie. I had no idea. And I was going to say, prior to this knowledge, that this movie was very poorly directed, and I was disappointed in Bryan Singer. So we can say that, and I can say that the best part of this movie was the Live Aid performance.
100%,
in terms of
100%.
Yeah, that was like almost a shot-for-shot remake. And the dude, I'm going to get his name wrong again. What was it? Rami
Malek? Yeah.
Right, like he was fantastic. They all looked like the band, but that Malek's performance at the Live Aid concert was like, if you put a side by side of that performance, you almost couldn't tell the difference in terms of like the cadence and the singing and the sound and whatnot. With that being said, I'm trying to put my love of this band on the back burner and just talk about it from a film perspective. If I do that, y'all are going to hate me, but this is a small bag of popcorn for me from a movie perspective. I loved Malek. I loved his performance as Freddie Mercury, but I was not a fan of this movie from a movie perspective. I love Queen. Absolutely love Queen. But I just didn't feel like the movie was there for me, guys. Sorry.
You know what, Ed? I'm going to agree with you, but I'm going to disagree with you on one thing, and I'm going to give this one a medium bag. And what I mean by that is everything that you said about the performance of Malek, everything was great. He gave us the Heath Ledger Joker performance. He was that character. Thank you so much for giving us that. And he was better than Sacha Baron Cohen ever would be. So I do not want to be in a world where Sacha Baron Cohen played Freddie Mercury. I do not want to see that.
Hold on. Did you just say Sacha Baron Cohen? Dude,
He did.
That's my fucking new DJ name right there, Jordan. Oh my god, I'm gonna make nothing but electronic trap music with that name.
I deserve
Very nice.
I deserve royalty rights then. But overall, the movie though, the movie's just jumbled. The movie goes different places. Like I said, you definitely can tell that there's 2 different directors. The studio wants to make a Queen movie. The director wants to make a Freddie Mercury movie. You can tell that. It's very fast-paced. It's very jumbled. And it confuses me sometimes. But overall, though, it is a fun movie to see. And if you're a Queen fan, this is a movie for you to watch as a Queen fan. And if you're a Wayne's World fan, I mean, this is funny with Mike Myers playing the radio executive. It's just fun. So yeah, overall for me, a medium bag. It's not great. It's not the worst movie of the year. But it was definitely a medium bag for me. So, but Eric and Ed, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Movie Guys Podcast. We will be taking just a week break here because we are getting ready to do part 2 of our Harry Potter series, which would be the Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald, coming up here in just a few weeks. So we'll be coming back to you for that. Make sure to check us out on our schedule. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.com, movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. You can download us on iTunes, on iHeartRadio, and on Spotify. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast. You can find this episode and many others that we have done over the past 3 years, because in December, just a month away, we'll be celebrating our 3rd year anniversary. Make sure to follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook at Movie Guys Podcast and also on Twitter at Movie Guys Pod. And we just created an Instagram page as well. You can just look for Movie Guys Pod on Instagram, and you can find all of our episodes on there as well. And also the last little bit of announcement, because I talked too much, would be that we have a voting poll for you fans. We have decided that we want to do a little bit different thing here for our 30th anniversary, where we are going to put the movies that we have reviewed for the year up for review for you, the fans. You can go to movieguyspodcast.com or movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. On the right side of the page below the search bar, you will find a tab that says Movie Guys Podcast Awards. You can click on that, and you'll be able to find all of the polls that we have for you. You can vote for Best Film, Worst Film, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Screenplay, Best Makeup, and you, the fans, get to vote. And we will discuss overall what you fans have decided is the best and worst and the best actor and best actress of the year for Movie Guys Podcast. So Eric and Ed, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll be back in just a few short weeks for Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Have a good night.